In my years of service as an army sergeant, I faced many adversaries, but none as chilling and supernatural as the night I found myself hunting down a vampire in the deep, dense woods. You see, it began as a routine mission, a search and rescue operation for a missing reconnaissance team. We'd heard some unsettling reports about the area, unexplained disappearances, baffling injuries, and an overriding sense of dread that hung like a shroud over the forest. As we trudged deeper into the wilderness, the air grew thick with an energy that felt alien, otherworldly even. The moon was our only spotlight, casting an uncanny glow through the gnarled branches. We moved with caution, the crunch of leaves beneath our boots echoing in the stillness. Stories of ancient folklore began to swirl in my mind, warnings of creatures that lurked in the night, but I dismissed them as mere superstitions, old wives' tales meant to scare children. Oh, how wrong I was. We pressed on, and what we stumbled upon next was an old, forgotten mansion, shrouded by the overgrown forest. Its windows were shattered, and the howling wind sang a mournful song through the desolate halls. The air inside was tinged with a metallic scent that sent an icy shiver down my spine. It was there that we discovered the remains of the missing team, their bodies horrifyingly drained of blood. The word "Master" was scrawled on the wall, a chilling testament to their fate. A wave of urgency swept over us. We were dealing with something far beyond our training, something that defied logic and reason. We hastily set up a command post in the mansion, turning this eerie place into our base of operations. As the night stretched on, strange occurrences began to unfold. Whispers that seemed to come from nowhere, shadows that moved of their own accord, and an omnipresent feeling of being watched. Little did I know, the darkness that awaited us was beyond anything I could have imagined. As we pressed on, we stumbled upon an old, dilapidated mansion hidden among the trees. The once grand edifice was now a mere specter of its past, its skeletal structure looming ominously against the moonlit sky. Its windows, once perhaps filled with laughter and warmth, were now shattered, gaping holes that let in the cold night air. The wind, as if playing a mournful tune, howled through the empty halls, carrying with it a metallic scent that was all too familiar. It was the scent of blood. As we ventured further into the mansion, our flashlights sweeping across the cobweb-laden rooms, we discovered the remains of the missing team. Their lifeless bodies lay sprawled on the floor, their faces contorted in eternal fear, their bodies drained of their life essence. Scrawled on the wall in what appeared to be blood was a single word that sent a chill down our spines. Master. The sight was gruesome, a stark reminder of the supernatural entity we were up against. The atmosphere in the mansion was heavy with a sense of dread, the echoes of past atrocities still lingering in the air. With a newfound sense of urgency, we set up a makeshift command post in the heart of the mansion. Amid the eerie silence and the oppressive darkness, we huddled together, planning our next move. The mansion, once a symbol of opulence and grandeur, was now our fortress against an unseen enemy. As the night wore on, strange occurrences began to unfold. Unearthly whispers seemed to emanate from the mansion's dark corners, chilling us to our core. Shadows appeared to move on their own accord, darting across the walls in an eerie dance. And all the while, a pervasive feeling of being watched clung to us, a constant reminder of the unseen eyes that observed our every move. The mansion was no longer just an abandoned structure. It was a haunted house of horrors that harbored an ancient evil. The fear was palpable, the danger real. But we were soldiers, trained to face the enemy, no matter how supernatural. As the night wore on, strange occurrences unfolded, unearthly whispers, shadows that moved on their own, and a pervasive feeling of being watched. It wasn't long before we encountered the Master, a creature of the night that defied all reason. This vampire, emanated an aura of terror, its eyes gleaming like burning embers in the dark. It moved with a grace that was eerie, defying the laws of nature, its form blurring in and out of sight with supernatural speed. Against this entity, our weapons, our bullets, seemed insignificant, futile. We fired rounds, the deafening echo of gunshots slicing through the otherwise silent forest. But our efforts were as fruitless as trying to capture the wind. The vampire evaded our attacks with an unholy agility, each bullet passing through its form as though it were made of smoke. It was a spectacle that left us with a chilling realization. We were not the hunters in this forest. We were the prey. The creature looked at us, its gaze chilling us to our cores. Then, as swiftly as it had appeared, it vanished, disappearing into the shadows of the towering trees. We were left standing in the eerie silence of the forest, the echo of our gunshots still ringing in our ears. The master had made its point. We were in its territory, playing by its rules. Our pursuit of the vampire turned into a game of cat and mouse. We chased shadows, following the faintest rustle of leaves, the smallest hint of the vampire's presence. But each time, we were met with nothing but the cold, empty darkness of the forest. It was an unnerving experience, a nightmare that had us questioning our own senses. The vampire was always one step ahead, its presence felt but never seen, lurking in the shadows. Despite the fear gripping us, we pushed on, our determination fueling our resolve. We knew we had to end this, to bring an end to the terror that the master had brought upon us. As we ventured deeper into the heart of the forest, we prepared ourselves for the inevitable. Another encounter with the master. We could feel its presence lurking in the shadows, always one step ahead. As the moon reached its zenith, we cornered the creature in a clearing, its feral eyes fixed on us with a hunger that sent chills down our spines. The night was heavy with an electrifying tension as we stood, face to face with the master, the vampire. Its eyes, burning embers in the darkness, held a predatory gleam that promised a fight to the death. The chilling wind swept through the clearing, carrying with it the rustle of leaves and the palpable fear that clung to each one of us. The creature moved with a supernatural grace that belied its monstrous nature. It lunged at us, a blur of darkness against the moonlit sky. Bullets, our usual allies in combat, proved ineffective, merely passing through the creature, leaving it unscathed. The realization hit us like a punch to the gut. We were not just soldiers in this battle, we were prey. Our training had prepared us for many things, but not for an adversary shrouded in the cloak of the supernatural. Each failed attempt to harm the creature heightened our terror, but we were soldiers and we would not back down. We moved as one, our actions guided by instinct and desperation. The vampire was relentless, its attacks a terrifying dance of death. But in the face of our own mortality, we found a strength we didn't know we possessed. Our fear transformed into determination, our desperation into courage. With the odds stacked against us, we had one last trick up our sleeve. I remembered the ancient folklore, the tales of vampires and their fatal weakness. As the creature lunged at me, I took my chance. I grasped a broken branch, its jagged edge a makeshift weapon. With a final desperate lunge, I drove the wooden stake through the vampire's heart. The creature let out a blood-curdling shriek as it recoiled, its body disintegrating into a cloud of ash that was quickly carried away by the wind. We stood there, panting, our hearts pounding in our chests as we took in the sight of our vanquished foe. With a final, desperate lunge, I drove a wooden stake, a broken branch, through the vampire's heart. As the first light of dawn broke through the trees, a sense of relief washed over us. We had made it through the most horrific night of our lives, having stared into the fathomless depths of an ancient evil. The silence of the morning was a stark contrast to the violent cacophony of the night, and for a moment it felt as though the world had stopped to catch its breath. The battle was over, yes, but the echoes of the struggle we had just survived still resonated within us. We were soldiers, trained to face the enemy head-on, but nothing could have prepared us for the terror that was the master. The chilling memory of its glowing eyes, the gut-wrenching fear that clung to us as we hunted it down, the desperation as we fought for our lives. These were things we would carry with us, a part of the baggage we bore as soldiers. As we began our journey back through the dense woods, the mansion loomed in the background, a silent witness to the horrors of the night. Each step we took away from that place was a step back into reality, away from the chilling world of the supernatural we had just encountered. But with each step, it was also painfully clear that we would never be the same again. The experience had left us with a heightened sense of our mortality and an understanding of the world that was far beyond our previous comprehension. We had seen the impossible, fought the unimaginable, and by some miracle, lived to tell the tale. But this was not a tale of victory. This was a tale of survival, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming fear. We had survived the night, but the memory of hunting down a vampire in those haunted woods would forever be etched in our minds. The supernatural had crossed paths with the military, and the scars of that encounter lingered long after the mission was over. Dive into the abyss of the dark and mysterious, a realm teeming with gruesome goodies designed to make your stomach churn and toes curl. The Amazon affiliate link, waiting in the description, is your ticket to this world. Don't hesitate, explore the unexplored. Who knows, you might just find your new obsession. And so, our tale of the Campfire Horrors comes to an end. Until next time, sleep tight. Before we part ways, dear viewers, remember to stay vigilant. The Campfire Horrors may have been extinguished for now, but the embers of the unknown always remain. As you lay down to sleep tonight, don't forget the lessons from our tale. Safety is but a fleeting moment in a world of unseen. So, if you've enjoyed this journey into the abyss, don't forget to ring that bell and smash that like button. Do it before the thing under your bed decides to pay you a visit. Oh, and keep those night lights on. You never know what might be lurking in the dark. Thank you for embarking on this terrifying adventure with us. Until our paths cross again in another tale of the unknown. Goodbye and sweet dreams, if you can.